What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more punk rock. We're back with some more Propagandhi, going back to their How to Clean Everything album again, 1993, their debut album. I was thinking about it, I mentioned like, it's funny, this song, or this album has a couple sort of joke or kind of piss take songs. What am I talking about? There's three. But again, like Ska Sucks, the tune we're going to listen to now, this might be Satire. I think baked within it, despite it being a very satirical and sort of cheeky and in a way silly tune, I do think baked into it is a criticism toward the music world, like Ska Sucks, in the sense that I think it's a critique of pop punk, of the way in which, by 93, 7 years after Jello talked about the way in which punk rock music seemed to be getting increasingly commercialized and sort of warped into something that was not about muckraking challenges to authority and sort of a refusal to take arguments from authority and so on, with his song Anarchy for Sale, or the Dead Kennedy song Anarchy for Sale. I think this song is a sort of critique, at least in form, of the way pop punk music had taken a sound and a style that was originally about rejecting mainstream forms of safe, material, both musically and visually, aesthetically, and so on, that's designed not to rock the boat, that's designed to be very, safe and commercial and so on. And indeed, by the early 90s, at least some strains of punk rock had become precisely that thing, sort of, very safe and just about kind of like emotional experiences and whatever, and there's nothing wrong with writing a punk rock song about emotional experiences. But again, I think Jello Biafra and Propagandhi and others would criticize parts of the punk rock world for becoming more about a mohawk haircut and a poster on a wall, and less about the ideas and sort of socially, culturally, and politically challenging concepts in terms of challenging your own worldview and behavior. Again, it's a song that fundamentally is sort of like a satirical take on a pop punk song about a relationship, and indeed it sort of it exposes the silliness of that and critiques that by going to a line like ad absurdum, which is to say eventually, in songs like that you get it like, it was about the kiss in that moment, whatever. Well, this song, the lyrics in this song go a step beyond that and suggest that, where this affection and infatuation might lead. It's ultimately, I think, a song that you could take it at face value just for being a silly kind of piss take song. But again, like Ska Sucks, I think built within it is a sort of larger critique aimed at parts of the music world, and in particular, in this case, the punk rock world. So let's get to it. This is Propagandhi. This might be Satire, from their 1993 album on Fat Records, How to Clean Everything. I forgot about that knot. That's very 90s. Following a line with the negation of knot. Makes me feel like, Borat comes to mind. There's a hint of the character is, he's not going to take no for an answer, is sort of the implication. But as I said, I think it's a very funny song, but I think you could also sort of read it as a sort of like, is this what punk rock has become? Sort of critique in form, as I said. So yeah, it's a cool tune. I've gotten through most of this album now. I'm trying to think. I know I haven't done Showdown yet because I talked about that in another video. That it'd be interesting to do that one because it's like two different songs like that were put into the same song. So I've always found that one to be so interesting in terms of the contrast between the opening verse from Samson and the second verse from Chris. But I'm trying to think. I think I've done most of the others. I don't think I've done Haile Selassie Up Your Ass. That's a tune that is very legendary, and I remember making an impression on me. But it's like one that'll be very hard to talk about without getting overly political, because it is one of their more like in your face sort of intransigent political songs. Nevertheless, we'll do it at some point. I don't shy away from it, but like I said, you just have to like navigate a minefield when you talk about these things. But yeah, what else haven't I done? There might be one or two more. Have I done Hate Myth Muscle Etiquette? I think maybe I did. But either way, plenty more Propagandhi to do on other albums, but I think I have done most of this album. So again, it's a testament to how significant it was to me personally. I mentioned it before. No album changed my life more, at least arguably, than this album. Obviously, like getting into techno, that changed my life a lot, but that's more like, I got a CD compilation, so I guess like, that's not from one like person, that's not from one label, that's, a compilation of different artists on different labels. But yeah, like in terms of like a single album by one band, it's arguable that, again, nothing changed my life more than this. So I had to go through it perhaps a little bit quicker than some of the other albums. But as I said, let me know if there's a tune you'd like to hear, not just on this album or not just Propagandhi, but any other punk rock tune. And other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I'll see you next time.